Awesome. Well, I got John here and Steven from ShowFlow. Thanks so much for joining with us today. Excited to kick off another kind of quarterly webinar. Thanks so much for joining, everyone who's joined previous ones. Today's going to be a little bit different than what we traditionally do. One, obviously, kind of using ShowFlow a little bit and walking through. But also kind of get a little bit more software and form related with some polls, talking about some stuff that we're going to be potentially working on and get some of your feedback on some of those things as well. So let's just kind of kick off and start with one of our pretty common polls that we like to do in the front of these with kind of the industry that you're from. Yep. And kind of give us a little pulse. As a lot of you know, we get utilized in a lot of different industries. Corporate events, sports, broadcast, esports, house of worship even, and all of that as well.
So yeah, go ahead. The poll's open. Go ahead and fill it out. We'll do it for another 10 seconds here, and then we'll wrap that up. Sports coming in strong. It always does.
Got some corporate events.
Okay, cool. We're going to wrap it up. 3, 2, 1. Done. Share the results.
Like we're watching election results coming.
All right, so sports coming in strong, corporate events in there. Nice. I love it when the esports is in. I love that. Some broadcasts, some worship. The other, we're always trying to figure out who the other is.
Yeah, if you're another, throw us in the chat. Really, what maybe you just stumbled across this and you have no idea what ShowFlow even is. But yeah, if you're in another industry, throw it in. Maybe news. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be helpful. Well, cool. Keep rocking. Let's see. I think the biggest thing I want to talk about is just kind of the agenda for the webinar today. We're going to do an iOS update. We've kind of did some cool work there, so we'll walk you guys through that. We are going to hit new dash, just kind of make sure you guys understand. And we've been deploying more stuff to it, getting ready to wrap that up. And then we got this really cool feature feedback thing that Johnny was talking about, QA at the end. And just a note about QA. As you guys have questions, the way we like to do that is send them on in. We've got JP and then Johnny also kind of collecting the Q&A along the way. And then we're going to actually create like a block of time at the very end. We'll just kind of work through them. So that's the way we kind of approach QA.
Yep.
All right. Well, with that said, we're going to jump right into iOS right out the gate. And we've got a cool thing. So Johnny's going to drive the show color position. And Johnny, make sure you switch over to the other. Yep. Perfect. And we're going to Airplay, which is a cool thing. It's called Air Server, I think. But if you guys want to check it out one time, you can. But it basically lets you Airplay your phone to your Mac, which is kind of cool.
You need to pull, oh, there you go.
There, and it pulled right on up. Right?
Oh,
there it is.
yeah.
Cool. So on the right side of the screen, guys, you're going to see my phone. And I don't think you'll see Tinder or anything like that on there. But here we go. We got ShowFlow bottom left. We're going to launch ShowFlow. And so just a couple updates just about kind of what we've been doing in terms of iOS. So we did a little bit of work on this in September and August. And honestly, just in general, we knew we could improve it a lot. We have limited resources, but we wanted to do a real good shot at it. So the areas that we focused on was performance. So just in general, when you move in and out of shows in ShowFlow now on your iOS application, it should feel a lot smoother. And then it should also just load a little faster, specifically if you have those larger shows.
Yep.
So that's one thing. If you guys haven't tried out iOS in a while, please try it out. Other really cool feature that we worked on is pinch and zoom. So now you can actually zoom out on your iOS app and zoom in as well too. So you can kind of see, you can't see my fingers, but trust me, I'm literally just squeezing them and pushing them in there. So that's the idea there, but that's kind of cool. And that's a new improvement, something that we always wanted in the first version, but we just weren't able to prioritize that. So that's going on. And then another one, which I'll step out real quick. Again, just to kind of talk about what you're looking at here. On the left side, Johnny is actually, I think he's actually my user, but he's tracking. And so I'm going to step into a show. We can kind of see I'm right here. And so Johnny's going to go ahead and just track on to item 6 here or item 5.
Yeah, we'll do 6.
Cool. And we can see on the right here, I've been alerted in the application that Stephen Bowles has started tracking. And then in the bottom right, you can actually see it says follow show caller. It's nice, it's big, it's loud. And so Johnny, go ahead and track another item real quick.
Yep.
So it doesn't really matter where I am. As long as I'm in there, I get that little follow show caller. I can click that, and now I'm following Johnny. And so if he advances from one item to the next, he's got that. So I can actually hit stop following, scroll, be wherever I want to be inside the cue sheet. Johnny can go and track on, and it'll let me know that Johnny's actually started doing it again. I can hit follow show caller, and I'm right back there. So it's still the basic concepts of show caller tracking and sort of, but we really tried to make it a little bit more intuitive for the person inside the application.
Yeah, a lot of people, you know, as we know, a lot of the users that have been kind of test piloting it and using it in the last year could be in sports, you know, on-field people.
Yep.
And this is, again, not just for the iPhone, but also those on an iPad. But yeah, people coming on and off the court, on and off the field, could be stage manager running around, somebody backstage, whatever, on an iPad. A lot of use cases for it. So yeah, excited for some of those things.
Last one I'd show is just when you leave and come back into a show and your tracking is on, we improved its ability to catch up to the position where you were. So again, you can kind of see that when I bail out and then I come back in now, it should catch right up real quick. Before it was a little bit more sluggish. So anyways, we're always looking to improve iOS, keep the feedback coming in, but we are excited and we got that release out. A note on that, if you haven't already got your iPhone set to essentially auto update, then you might need to go do a forced update. And also it can't hurt to actually just kind of come in and actually close down ShowFlow altogether and make sure you're loading the new version from scratch. So
yeah, and somebody had mentioned when can they expect this update?
Yeah, it's out. So
yeah.
Really at this point, it's just a matter of whether or not you've got your phone to automatically update in the background versus wait for you to manually go through and update it. So, yep.
So you can just, so the question somebody had about test flight or anything like that, you can just, you don't need test flight, right from the App Store, download it, you know, update it if there's an update for it. If you're on the new iOS and you have the auto updates enabled, it should be good to go, but definitely let us know if you have any issues and all that. It should be, should be working well for you.
Cool. All right, we're going to keep tracking along because we got all the good stuff. So, JP, we're getting ready for poll number 2. Poll number 2, guys. So we're actually just curious, how many of you guys are actually using the mobile web app versus the iOS app? So we're going to throw that up there. Like, how do you engage with ShowFlow on your mobile device? I guess maybe is the question.
So is that are you using it on the iPhone app or an iPad app, or are you using it just in Safari or Chrome on an Android or another mobile device? Or maybe you don't use ShowFlow at all on mobile devices, but we're just kind of get a pulse on where where our customers are and how they're using it.
Yep. We want to make sure we actually build it for the actual use case and how people are engaging with it. Cool. So I'm going to hit stop. It looks like we already are sharing results. That's awesome. So yeah, it looks like actually 23%, give or take, native app, Safari and Chrome coming in at that 16%, both is 21, and then 40 on neither. So that's super helpful. All right, we'll take that. I mean, we're obviously trying to design for where you guys are actually out. So that's pretty helpful.
Yep.
All right, Johnny, let's switch gears into new app and Dash.
Yeah. So excited for some of the new things. As you guys might have been on the last webinar, we really debuted this new app Dash. I'm really excited for it, and our team's really excited for it. We've been heads down working on it for a while. Really just bringing the overall performance and how you navigate between events and shows and inviting crew and even some new features. We have a full one that we did last webinar, which will definitely touch a lot more on a lot of the features. So if you weren't on that, you can go to our webinars page. JP might be able to throw that in there, the link in there, which just has all of our previous recording. That'll talk a little bit more in depth, but I'll give you a few little updates on it and just to maybe refresh your memory on a few of these things. So I'm just going to jump back. This is let's go back one more to the team dashboard. So this is a team dashboard page. As you'll notice, if you're looking at this for the first time, it's definitely a lot cleaner. We've actually removed the whole left navigation bar. And I think it just makes for an overall easier clicking through and all that. If you happen to be a part of a team admin on multiple team accounts, which is more often common, maybe a couple of you freelance people, or more than likely more of the sports related people who might be a part of an organization that has multiple teams underneath them. You can use this team drop down little button to pull up to quickly jump to other team accounts. We also have we've renamed these to be archived events. Archive's just a way it's going to continue to do what the kind of old dashboard did, where it'll automatically archive previous events once they're completed. I believe it's 7 days, 7 days after. We'll place those in there. You can also kind of soft delete events and place them in this bucket as well. We also added a new search, so you can quickly search previous events or archived events and pull those up. It'll filter that view for you. Another big one, which I talked a little bit more about last time, but template library. So this is really exciting, all new team templates. So what this allows you to do as an organization or a team is to either create new show, schedule, or list templates and allow your team of producers or people creating scripts, if you're in sports, to simply, when you're creating an event, to create from that template. So it's a global template for the entire company or organization. You can also go back to any of your previous events or previous seasons, find a show or a rundown that you want to use, and you can save that as a template, give it a name, and those will be populated in here. So a really awesome way to just kind of leverage templates. We've also taken a lot of really cool measures to create our own templates for you guys. So if I go to create an event, we now have this include templates. And as you'll see, we don't have any team templates created, but this is where those events would be, or those, templates would be located. But you'll notice we have a lot of new show flow templates. So these are just from working in this industry and getting a lot of, and viewing a lot of scripts and rundowns and things like that from people. We've just created really what we see as some of the best practice layouts. Sports, we got a lot of them for you. Corporate and broadcast, we've got esports, some schedules and things like that. So really cool stuff. If you have one that you love and you want to share, definitely send those over to us, as we want to, our goal is to continue to make these templates more accessible for people, and really just help save you time when it comes to creating and formatting these things in the best possible way. And then if I jump into it, into an event, kind of a similar look here, we have, our standard, where you can see all of your shows and things like that, folders, all that same type of idea. If you click create new, you'll see your list of things you can create. And then if you click create show or schedule, this is also where you can create from any of these templates that either you've saved or are available through our kind of template system as well. And and then last but not least, the crew. This is pretty awesome. You can just, as before, you manage all the crew yourselves. But what we've done is you can just simply, we actually take an account as a team. Any users that have been invited into any previous events that you've created, we actually have a new search. So you can just do, let's see if was I on one? I don't know. We won't search through all of these. Whoops. I just clicked out of it. Let me jump back in there. Basically what this is doing is just pulling from a list of all of your previous users that have been invited in events, and then you can just one click and invite into those. So maybe we've got Ryan from our team. That's okay. And yeah, you can just quickly search for them, click into it, and then set their permission to whatever you need right from there, click send. They get the same kind of standard invite email, and they can access it there. So this is just great. If you forget that other person who was on the previous event, that freelance A1 or whatever it is, being able to just search their name, search their email, and make sure you get it right the second time.
Yeah, this is kind of something too we're building on top of, which is as a team, you're building out your directory of crew that you've used in the past. So even if you might not use them from one event to the next, if it's been 10 events of a gap, but you're like, oh, who's that guy? Oh yeah, it's John Alexander. We're keeping a record of his user account that has been associated to an event at one point or another. Well, cool. So that's AppDash. Just real quick, a couple of notes on that. If you have any questions on AppDash, send it to us. We'll talk about it here in a second. I do want to just talk about the timeline real quick. We'll use this image right here and kind of pop over and talk about this real quick. So AppDash rollout timeline. In general, what we're looking at right now is we're in the last series of sort of development tickets that we'd like to do to kind of help refine it, work on some of the things that might be a little buggy. It is beta, so we do acknowledge that anyone who gets in there early might and likely will bump into something, but we're literally just reducing that every single day, dialing that in more and more and more. So our goal would be Q4 really to create a banner that allows people to opt into it even more easily across the top of your dashboard. So if you are running a show in the next couple of months, in the next 2 months or so, you might start to see a banner at the top that says, hey, have you considered? And it's your choice. You can switch back and forth between old and new, and it won't hurt you. But for any new users coming in, at some point, we'll create a point where we're funneling them into this new App Dash experience. And then in Q1, really requiring, putting more of a deadline in place. Hey, we need you to switch from the old app to the new, and then ultimately sunsetting the old app altogether. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I just saw a couple questions, people, which was my fault. I should have showed on there, asking, how do I kind of get this? And it is available in beta.
Yep.
I'm just going to jump over. Was this? Yeah.
Yep.
So the easiest way to do it is, I'll just go through the whole thing here, turn it off, and then let's do this. So this is the older dashboard, or what a lot of you probably are still on. Easiest way to do this, you just go to your account settings, and then at the bottom, you will see early releases, and this toggle right here will enable that. And then from there, you just kind of do a refresh of it, and it'll load in the, whoops. Just go, oh yeah, right here. No, I think you have to do the URL.
There you go. Redirect.
Yeah, the redirect. So then from there, next time you go to that, the app.showflow.io, it'll kind of reload in this new beta to go back if you need to. Same idea, hit your profile photo in the top right, hit settings, and then you can toggle that off, hit save, and then it'll go back. This is on a per user basis. So if you are a team admin, don't worry, this isn't like forcing everybody in right now. Each person would still, as of right now, have to do that themselves. But in order to saw some other questions about the templates, in order to get those, and to access the team templates, you will need to have this new kind of beta turned on.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Awesome, guys. Well, we'll keep trucking, and then we'll come back and hit those questions as we go. So we're going to move into fun new segment. We haven't done it before. We're actually kicking some serious butt. We're running about 10 minutes ahead. All right, so we've kind of at ShowFlow had different seasons where we've had different beta teams and groups and sort of feedback sessions. Sometimes they've been smaller. We've never really done it on like a webinar level like this, but we figured why not? Let's go for it. We just really love inviting you guys into it. So we're doing a little Falls Fun and Friendly feature feedback form. Why not? We had one of our guys.
Trying to say that again.
Yeah, try and say that 4 times fast. So the spirit of this, guys, is we are obviously only trying to build software that makes your lives easier. Sometimes we're using this, we're putting all of our resources on larger projects that we believe ultimately create a better workflow for our customers and also kind of update the technology as we go. So things like App Dash is sort of an example of that. But other times it's just how can we make your routine lives inside of ShowFlow a little bit easier. And so we drive a lot of people to Canny. Canny is a really awesome place where we'll talk about at the end that you can actually provide a lot of feedback. So we went to Canny. We also talked amongst ourselves, talked to a lot of customers, and just identified 3 or 4 different small, we kind of almost call them little sizzle features, enhancements, things that could make your lives a little bit easier. We'd love to just open it up to a vote. So this is going to be a little weird, but maybe also a little fun. Basically, we're going to throw a bunch of, we're going to demo what we think would be a really cool feature. And bring you guys help, then we'll throw it to a quick poll. And we're looking for that poll to basically be how much on a scale of like, I don't need this at all, and this would like make my life easier tomorrow, and just kind of have a vote. And we'll take this at the end and really kind of, this will help inform us as we're going through priorities and things like that. So with that being said, Johnny's got the first one, all caps. Johnny, show it off.
Yeah, so all caps. Been hearing this a lot from a lot of sports customers and some corporate people that are using Presenter and things like that. But the idea around all caps is essentially a toggle. So to kind of show you what we're thinking, I'm going to jump into a show, and I'm actually going to go to our prompter view because we actually have this kind of baked into prompter. So I'm going to locate a script here. Here we go. So right now we have this in prompter view where right here from the right hand side there's a toggle that says all caps to no caps, lower caps. And yeah, you just quickly toggle it up. toggle it off. So pretty simple and easy. The idea that we're thinking for this is to, and if I jump back out to our kind of normal grid view, the idea would be one of two places to do it. The first I thought would be put it somewhere up. So if I just click on a cell like this and highlight it up here in the cell formatting bar, having a quick toggle that just is like maybe an up and then a lower, and it just toggles it up, toggles it on, and that's based on existing. It could be existing content that's already in there. It could be maybe even new stuff that you're typing in, and you can always go back, toggle on and off. The other idea would be curious to maybe hear some other thoughts on if this would be helpful or not, but being able to do it within the actual cell edit menu on even a per character basis, and being able to like highlight, maybe throwing it in here and choose an upper or lowercase there. So that's kind of the thought on uppercase, lowercase, but definitely hear you. And you know, I think it'd be helpful.
Cool. We're going to throw up the demo or the poll. I mean, so all caps formatting button in the top toolbar. Let's hit it on a scale of like, this makes my life better tomorrow versus I could take it or leave it. Doesn't really matter. Let's hear it. Cool. Do it for another 5 seconds. Nice.
Still a lot of.
Nice. Keep it coming in.
This isn't the SATs.
Yeah. You don't have to do a study for this. All right, cool. We're close. All right, so results, I love it. All right, so this is important. Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily, and I would say on the spectrum, I'm reading this as unnecessary. It's not. Wait, that's weird to say. But basically, it's necessary, right? And this is more in the important zone. That's what we were thinking too. This is awesome, guys. This is why we do these polls. So that we'll take that with us as we go. All right, fun next one. Feature demo around spell check. So this one's fun. We actually just did pictures on this. Spell check's a funny game. There's a reason why it's not like baked into the app right now. If you actually just use the system and the browser-based spell check, you probably get an experience like this inside of ShowFlow. And that is because our industry is awesome, but we use a lot of shorthand, right? Graphics or something like that, or VTA or DDR or Spider preset or EBS or whatever it might be. And so when we've explored this in the past, it's actually got noisy, and if not like outright just frustrating. So that being said, we need to solve it. That's what we're here for. We're here to innovate inside of the workflows that you guys have got. And so if anyone is using ShowFlow, they also likely need spell check. So here's an area of what we're thinking on this. One option is it's only when you're in line in the edit. So if anyone's ever made an edit inside of ShowFlow, when you actually go into edit mode of a cell, it kind of appears a little differently. And so one thing we're presenting is the idea like, hey, we'll just do it in there. That being said, it would likely still show up if you were to type in, you know, instant replay number 4. It would still not know what to do with that. So another consideration we're thinking, and this isn't something we're asking you to vote on, it's more the spirit of spell check. Another consideration would be you could apply spell check to only turn on or apply on a per column basis. So you could actually go to the audio column and say, we're only going to be shorthand here and different sort of abbreviations. So don't even bother. But the PA column or the script column, we absolutely want spell check baked into it. So that's it. That's the idea. That's the spirit around spell check. And yep, JP, throw up the poll. Let's talk about it. What on a spectrum is this something that would be really critical versus helpful versus kind of unnecessary altogether? I'm betting nobody votes unnecessary.
I don't know.
Maybe somebody. That'd be funny. This is awesome. I love it. Important, critical, neutral. That's pretty good, actually. Neutral's coming in. Okay, cool. Well, I think you guys can see it right there. This is definitely in the spectrum of important, if not critical. So thanks, guys. That's helpful. Helps inform kind of our conversations as we're going around here. All right, let's do it. Johnny, next up.
Yeah, so next thing to talk about is kind of a read time estimator. So this is an interesting one, you know, in regards to, this is obviously more for scripting and for like either a presenter, fully scripted show, those in sports, you know, your standard kind of PA read. Essentially just transcribing the words, and we'd put some sort of average you know, read time in the system, and then we would estimate the read time, seconds, minutes, based on the content within a cell. So this is just kind of a quick shot of what this could look like from our feature view and show flow for PA announcers or for, you know, somebody, even in esports or a prompter or something like that. But you just kind of see right here, you've got some scripts or some words in here. And then we have on the right-hand side a 90-second estimated read time. I probably wouldn't be right for that. That's not a lot of content for 90 seconds, but yeah, that's the idea. Something there. You know, there's some other options of kind of where to put this time and kind of how to do it, but just kind of overall, it's kind of a thought. And we've heard from some people, you know, this is would be helpful. So yeah, let's go ahead and fire up a poll and see kind of some thoughts on this.
I think another cool idea for this one would be, if you could, we talked about this and heard this from users, like based on what you're typing in there, it actually is auto updating. And then you can say, I want this estimated duration to actually drive my actual duration for the item.
Yeah. Like
so
being able to
kind
override.
of linking those things together a little bit.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Awesome. Okay, so this one's a little bit more spread, definitely important, but you know, maybe there's some people that it's kind of, I think that makes sense. Obviously,
they'd have to be leveraging this for the scripting side, you know, which not everybody is.
Yep. Cool. Let's keep rocking. Let's jump back over. We're going to go into shortcut to navigate large shows. So this one's interesting. I'll just kind of talk to this. It's going to be a little, we don't necessarily have a full-on demo for it, but let's just kind of talk to this. So over here, right now, I've got a show that currently has, let's see, 46 rows. That's not that bad. It's kind of a standard corporate show. But we've all seen corporate shows or even sports shows, and definitely like esports broadcasts where you're doing like a daily broadcast or sort of like an all-day broadcast where you could be at 100, 200, 300 shows. And so we're ideating over here. We've seen some of this conversation in Canny is how could we kind of do a shortcut? Maybe it's Apple command or control command left or right arrow or up and down arrow. And it basically jumps you wherever you are to the next title row, right? So just boom, 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 quickly just moves you up and down inside the show flow, right? So this TEDx one sort of built out with 3 different sessions. And so instead of scrolling, I could be on session 2 and maybe hit command right arrow, and it just pops me right down to session 3. And again, that's not the same as tracking. This is more of a personal movement up and down. The other one would be, how could we jump you to the very top or to the very bottom of the show? Right, so those are kind of a relationship. They're in the same spirit of how can we quickly move you up and down inside of show flow. So that's the idea. There's some short keys to help you move up and down inside show flow. JP, let's do it. JP's kind of our wizard on the other side of the glass. Awesome. See him coming in.
Some important, some neutral, pretty similar.
Yeah. This is a great example of like if you guys, the people who are kind of like saying critical. If you have a comment, feel free to drop it in. Otherwise, you know, reach out to us directly. As we get closer to wanting to design these things and really kind of scope out the dev requirements of it, the people who really feel passionate about this in that critical space would love to invite you into the actual sort of build out and design of the function. Cool. So this one's coming in pretty strong, actually important. It's got a couple of unnecessaries or one, maybe 4 or so. But it's more in the spectrum of important to critical. So it's awesome. That's what we thought. Well, guys, that is generally it. The last one would just be kind of taking on that poll. All the ones we just showed you. Would love to just get your feedback. Which one, if you could say like they're going to build it tomorrow. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. Not tomorrow, but next, I guess is the better question. Which one would it be? This just helps us in terms of prioritizing things. Wish I could build my own.
What is your favorite?
I think I would go with, I'd probably go with spell check, but
put him on the spot.
Don't do it, Johnny. All right, cool. Let's do another 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Awesome, guys. This is awesome. Spell check support.
Like spell check, all caps. Oh no, quick nav. Wow.
No, but 35% is spell check.
Order.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Another thing which we didn't mention on the front end, but you know, a lot of these features that have, you know, that we've kind of talked through and have kind of been the ideas that we've been showing right here, have come from this tool we use called Canny, a way to post,
Yeah.
upvote, and all of that. JP can probably throw a link to our Canny page if you haven't already created an account and been active in there, and would like to help contribute and follow along and kind of engage in some of that conversation. I'd encourage you to do so. Those of you who have, thank you so much. It's been really helpful for us. We talk and discuss a lot of that feedback, on a weekly basis. So continue to do that there and continue to share, the feedback. So just want to kind of take a moment just to mention, if you weren't aware of that option, it's in there, and we'd love for you guys to be a part of it.
Well, cool, guys. So we're going to go into a Q&A mode. And at this point, for people, the main agenda is completed. So if you want to drop off, that's fine. This is a moment we just kind of get a little bit deeper in and ask some questions and get some feedback. So Johnny, if you want to take the first one, just kind of call it out and let's work through it.
So we had a question, good one, about the speaker image. They said, I like speaker image. What if you have multiple speakers presenting at the same time? You can have multiple images in a cell.
I can show that to you. So real quick, like for example, the introduction and overview, we had basically both of us talking. So just fun fact, the way that I'm actually pulling these images right now is from the internet. So a big part of images that maybe some people don't think about very much is when you're actually inserting an image, which you just select the cell and hit the image icon. You can either upload an image from locally, or you can paste one in from the internet. Obviously, LinkedIn's an easy one to grab if you're using speakers in more of a corporate fashion or something like that.
Twitter avatars.
You can give them titles, whatever you want, but insert that photo. And so, currently the app is designed to support stacked images. If you're looking for more of a designed approach where you have them left to right, then that would be, you'd need to take them offline, take them into whatever, Keynote, put them side by side, take a screenshot, save it. But the images for speakers has been a pretty cool thing, and is one of the reasons that we actually built it out for that purpose. Next one.
Let's see. Asking about what version of the app are you running? Do you know that? Are you able to say?
I'll look it up while you're, go ahead and take the next one.
We'll take the next one. We'll get back to that one. That's a good question, though, for anybody else who maybe has it. It looks like yours is 1.731. So we'll get back to that one. Let's see. When will the new dashboard be out of beta? We had touched on that a little bit on this slide, I believe, with the kind of a goal of, probably first quarter. But do you have any
I think we caught, I think that one probably came in before we got to that slide, but I think that is it. Honestly, this is what our dev team's working on the most right now. We want to get this done so that we can move on to the next series of things. So.
Let's see. I think we already touched on the one about templates. Templates are available now. In the new dash. Whether if you're talking about the ability to use it or to create your own new dash, the team templates, the ones that we've created, the sports and all of that, is also available in the old dash as well. If you have questions on how to get to that, just ping us in the chat. Let's see.
I do see one there that's about the Android. I think that for us, honestly, we'd love to build and be wherever our users are in terms of device-wise. It's just more of a tipping point, which one has enough people in it. We've done some polls and sort of looked around at what our users are at, and Android is present there, but it's not overwhelming. So more so just know that that's kind of us. It's helpful always to learn and be reminded that people are using some of these other devices. Reminder on that with Android and basically anything non-iOS, there is the web app, and that is a way to engage with ShowFlow. It's optimized for mobile devices.
Yep. Couple other ones. Somebody asked about, is this going to be recorded? Yes.
Yep.
JP, can we throw a link to the old articles, or the old videos in the chat? We have all of our previous ones, both quarterly webinars as well as our spotlight webinars, which are really awesome. It kind of hyper focuses on an industry or on a, whether it's a football specific in sports. We did an esports one, which was awesome. We've done corporate, I believe, and we'll continue to do those as well moving forward. So yes, this will be recorded and uploaded, and then you can also take a look at any of the other ones. Let's see, there's some other good ones in here. Let's see. I saw one at the bottom.
I see one right now. Is there any sort of drag and drop option instead of arrows on the left side? So yeah, we're always looking at that. You know, I would say that drag and drop currently, if you use Gym, is available to you inside of here. We kind of have a little bit of drag and drop going on in here, and then we have it in some other places. The quick ways currently to move rows up and down here is you can either sort of bulk row select and then command up and down arrow, and that will let you kind of quickly move. Or you can just cut that row and paste it wherever you might want to be. But that would be kind of functionally how you move around. There is no direct way to do drag and drop inside of ShowFlow right now, but trust us, it's something that we always talk about and want for you guys as well too.
Trying to see. Were you able to figure out the iOS version?
Yeah, I did actually, and I think we'll probably wrap at that. So basically, it is 1.7.31. So if whoever dropped that note, if you're not seeing the stuff that I showed you, then message us. We'd love to kind of dig into that with you and try and figure out what is unique about your environment. But my phone does have 1.7.31. Cool. Well, I think that covers most of it. If anyone has any other questions, make sure you hit us up directly. It's super easy. We have that Intercom Chat at the bottom. So again, whether or not you want to have a conversation with us, feedback after what we're talking about right now, feel free to come in. We'd love to have that. There is Canny, which is a place where you can kind of see a universe of everybody submitting features and voting them up and down. We look at that every single week. And then just in general, if you're a big fan of ShowFlow and you're sharing it around and you have really good ideas, feel free to actually we'd love to even set up just a user session where you can just dump your brain and your ideas out on us. Johnny and I and JP are literally always sort of asking ourselves, what do we want to build that we feel like we know ShowFlow needs? What are we hearing that our customers want? What are some innovative ideas that maybe nobody's thinking about? And it's just a blend of that. That's the responsibility of what we do here at a team every day. But if you have clarity around something that could be in there, hit us up over Intercom and we'll schedule a call and let you guys just kind of just brain dump everything that you love about ShowFlow and ideas.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate you guys and gals, and have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll catch you on the flip.